How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video, another story out of everyone's favourite news, BBC News. I know a lot of people message me, I don't pay my TV licence, neither do I. Right? It says here, the headline reads, "Don't release prisoners on Fridays, says NACRO charity." Prisoners should stop being released on Fridays because it can prove hard for them to access benefits, medication and assistance, campaigners have said. A third of all prisoners in England and Wales are currently freed on a Friday, but social justice charity NACRO says it's often a race against the clock. Some agencies close early, leaving newly freed prisoners sleeping rough and at risk of reoffending, it says. The Ministry of Justice confirmed it is examining Friday releases. More than 25,000 prisoners were released on Friday last year. I know because I was one of them. NACRO says while support may be put in place during the 12 weeks prior to release, the day itself is often crucial for putting in place the basics, building blocks for outside prison life. For outside of prison. We know that there is often a window of opportunity for people on release when they are keen to make a change and move on. However, this can be quickly lost when the barriers are too high and things are not in place to help them move forward and away from crime. The charity said that prisoners sometimes find that they are without the vital medication and have to survive on a £46 discharge grant until support services reopen on Monday. NACRO Chief Executive Jacob Tass said ending Friday releases would be a simple and cost-effective step to take as the government consults on reforms to probation services and takes action to deal with violence and drugs in prison. The Ministry of Justice said decisive action was being taken to improve probation services, including spending £22 million on extra support for offenders leaving prison. A spokesperson said as part of the consultation on probation reform is already considering whether a Friday release represents challenges to people coming out of prison. However, it said initial analysis suggesting reoffending rates are not affected by prisoners being released on a Friday. So that's that, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below. I was released on a Friday, guys, and it says there, 12 weeks prior to you leaving. I had nothing like that. The prison didn't say, never on one of my stretches, right? I've only been in prison 3 times, right? I'm not an expert on nothing, and I'm expert in my own life, right? But I've been released on a Friday on one occasion, right? And like I say to you, I didn't get asked, have you got somewhere to go? Have you got somewhere to live? Where are you going? Have you got a forwarding address? Nothing like that. Absolutely nothing, guys, right? And like I say, you kicked out on Friday with £46. You got a lot of, remember, guys, a lot of these people in prison, right? They can't read or write, they're dyslexic, they've got the reading age of like a 9 or a 10-year-old, right? And then they're kicked out of prison, right? And then, like, do you know what I mean? They don't know where to go and what to do, do you know what I mean? Right? We're criminals, we're not academics, you know what I mean? Some people are more switched on than others, you know what I'm saying? But medication, doctors, things like that. And then, like I say, food and everything like that, £46. I know there was a kid that was leaving in my group of 10, yeah, and I said to him, where are you going? He said, I'm going straight down to Strangeways, right? Strangeways isn't just a prison. There's an area of shops down there where people get knock-off stuff. He said, I'm going to go and score some spice. He said, that's me, I'll be straight back in the gutter. He said, I'll be back in a few days, in a week or two. How sad is that, though, guys, that he knows that he's going back to jail because £46, he went to prison with no addiction, he became addicted to spice in prison, right? Never took drugs before, ends up becoming a spice addict, £46, where do you think that's going? He's got nowhere to live, got no support network, straight back into the gutter, right? £46, score on spice, then what happens? You're addicted to the drug, you've got to commit crime to feed your fucking drug habit. The vicious cycle goes on and on and on. The Ministry of Justice, guys, are clueless. For all the academic qualifications in the world, right, prisoners, whether it be me or anybody else that's been in prison, that's got first-hand experience of the subject matter, right, are better in place than the Ministry of Justice. It's as simple as that. Look at the money management of the MOJ. They spend it around prisoners. You're talking about rehabilitating people. Speak to the people and invest the money in the people you want to rehabilitate. Will every prisoner that gets skills training and education and stuff, will they all succeed? Absolutely not. No, I'm not stupid enough to believe that. Right? A lot of them will fail. A lot of them. Also, in the same time, though, those that are given skills training, education, reform and reintegration, resettlement and reintegration back into society, will succeed. They need to be shown there's another way. You can be successful without resorting back to crime. But like I say, with fewer police on the street since 1996, since comparable records began, right, and crimes going unsolved or even uninvestigated, it's a criminal's paradise out there. So you tell me, does the current system work? Has prison ever worked in reoffending or reducing reoffending or rehabilitation? Absolutely not. Rehabilitation is a made-up word, guys. And like I say, if the penal system didn't exist, it's a very lucrative, guys. Take out prisoners, put us to one side. Prison officers, these big private companies that are earning millions and millions of pounds that have got offshore accounts that don't pay tax back into the system, right? People are getting fat and rich off prisoners suffering, right? In the name of rehabilitation or reform, right? Absolutely clueless, guys, right? And like I say, even in private prisons, guys, prison officers, prisoners, and prisoners' families are all being pushed to the side with the end goal being cha-ching, financial gain. The first goal and the end goal of a private prison like Sodexo Justice Services, G4S Custody, Serco, right? It's all money, man. It's all profit margins and profit. And that comes at the cost of security, conditions, treatment, food, regime. And it has a domino effect, right? Officers don't feel safe. They're pissed off with the system. We're pissed off at the system, but we see the uniform, so we attack the uniform. Then we're seeing record numbers of assaults, record numbers of self-harm. Then you've got the Prison Officers Association. Oh, let's ban smoking. Let's pull a judicial review of the prison service to fast-track the smoking ban, knowing that it would see an increase in violence, and I personally believe it was to antagonise prisoners. They've then used that violence to arm themselves. We will carry out, they said they will carry out banned industrial action if they didn't get X, Y, and Z. And the fucking, and Rory Stewart and David Gore, the the Justice Secretary, have just, like, yeah, they've got Parva spray, they've got extendable batons. Mark Fairhurst, in an interview with me on BBC Radio Wales, it's just down my timeline, said he wants tactical use of taser. So I said to him, when I put to him about the smoking ban, right, he had nothing to say. Nothing to say. But then I said, you want tactical use of taser? I said, you've got prisoners in prison with mental health issues. That's why you've seen record numbers of assaults and self-harm, right? One of the factors anyway, like I say, drugs and contraband, debt, violence. Where you've got contraband, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, you've got fear, intimidation, bullying, and violence, right? And I said to him, so they want tactical use of taser, guys. And he said in the interview, so if a prisoner's been uncomplicit, right, and he's not replying to our responses to tell him to, like, stop what he's doing, right, we can put a red dot on his chest and drag him down the seg. So I said, so a mentally ill prisoner that's having a psychotic episode, that's not in control of his own actions, you can then open a door and then fucking point a red dot on him, taser him, and drag him down the seg. And that's exactly what is going on. And like I say, it's going to go off, the prison system, guys. It's not a case of if, it's simply when. And I'm not stupid enough to like encourage people for it to go off. But I'm saying personally, my personal thoughts, it will go off. And for change to come and for the prison system to be overhauled, it has to go off. Similar to the Strange Ways riots back in 1990, for change to come. Because right now, guys, the MOJ, they're saying the right sort of things. Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. But it's all around prisoners. Invest it in them. Turn prisoners, rather than making prisoners out of our students, we should be making students out of our prisoners. To change prisons into a place of education, skills and training, reintegration and resettlement. No prisoner should leave prison and go back to being on the streets. No prisoner should go to prison on a short sentence, right, and then end up on the streets because he's lost his accommodation through rent arrears and his landlord decided to evict him. Because what happens? Go straight back to crime. I mean, the prison system, it's so angry, guys. It's so frustrating for me as a former prisoner. My experience is, what do I know? I know fuck all about. I know nothing about nothing. Right? I've got my opinions, guys, and I've got my thoughts. You guys might have been through the system. You might have a loved one that's in prison. You might just like my channel for whatever reason. But it frustrates the hell out of me. I'm passionate about it because there's people in prison suffering, right? Prisons are doubling up as mental health units, guys. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And there's no change, guys. Like I say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's all around security. When they're investing money, right, it's all about security, right? 10 worst prisons, £10 million across 10 worst prisons, right? Birmingham and Pentonville, who have been squalid conditions and appalled the Peter Clark, from Her Majesty's Inspector of Prisons, right? He said himself, he said it was some of the worst conditions he's ever seen. They're not even in the bottom 10. So what does that say for Lindholme, Rambert, Nottingham, Wealdstone? You know what I'm saying, right? The fact is, guys, prison, like £10 million for 10 prisons, right? 6 million on security and drug detection. You're boring, same old shit, different day, right? Corrupt officers, if they're going to put body scanners in prisons, every member of staff, male or female, fucking chaplains, everyone that works in the prison, OMU, Public Protection Unit, everyone that enters that prison, right? Staff, visitors, or anything else should have to go through the body scanners. Otherwise, what's the point in having them? There's no point letting prisoners through and prisoners through and prisoners through and then like nothing, or intercept a parcel. And then prison officers are actively bringing the drug in to top up the wages, or because they've been threatened or blackmailed, or, you know what I'm saying, or a sexual relationship. But like I say, little things, it's common sense things, man. And it fucks me off that no one listens. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm not that arrogant to believe so. I think I've got some good ideas. And I think there's a lot of other people that have got good ideas that I wouldn't even thought of. But we've all got experience of the subject matter. So why don't the MOJ listen to us and then be like, you know what? Actually, they've got some very valid points. You know what I mean? You've got burglars. I've seen burglar programs about like security on your house from former burglars turn good guys. Why do you listen to a former burglar about the security of your house? Because he knows the weak spots and he knows what to look for. Same things with us as former prisoners. We have good ideas. We've got some very good ideas. But like I say, in the eyes of the government, we're the enemy, or we're just thick, uneducated street kids. Thick, uneducated street kids that know a lot about a lot. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Links in the description. Comment, like, and subscribe. Cody out.